Good afternoon. I'm your host, Greg Lassiter, here at 30 Frames a Second. We have a great show for you today, so don't go anywhere and don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
I have to say it's an honor and a glory to be here today. I want to thank my mentor, Sadiq Y, for inviting me, and everything was in divine order. No matter what, I knew I needed to be here today. For me, I want to talk about the black within. I want to give you a little bit about my background and why me saying I'm a proud African means so much to me. I was born in Detroit, Michigan, to a Nigerian father and an American mother. My father took me to Nigeria for the first time at the age of 14. From there, when I came back to high school, the girls asked me, "Oh, are they African booty scratchers?" I said, "What? My family, we living good. What are you talking about? We don't do that." I'm saying this because in the African community, I was considered American. And in the American community, I was considered African. But for me, I'm a black woman that stands for unity. It is time that as black people, we start to work together. We cannot continue to point fingers to outside when we don't look within ourselves and see how we treat each other, see how we talk about each other, see how we call each other names. How can you ask 45 to respect you when you don't respect yourself? When the issue of slavery in Libya hit CNN, I didn't see not one celebrity. No celebrities, no Michael Jordans, no Snoop Dogg, nobody stand up. But soon as the little white kid was getting bullied, everybody want to stand up and say something. What was it? Was it fear? Is it fear? Slavery is happening right now as we are speaking. And we as a nation have to address it. It's the same thing that as if history is repeating itself. When slavery was happening then, our kings and queens looked over their shoulders. Oh, well, I'm in America. I'm driving my Bentley. I'm living in my nice apartment. I'm making my money. I can't do nothing for those people in Libya. Yes, you can. You can speak out. You can give awareness. You can let your brothers and sisters know that black power, we have to work together. They need to know that somebody overseas is speaking for them. Why are we so quiet? We're quiet because of fear. As black people, we have to let go of that fear. We can't keep hiding. We can't keep hiding behind excuses, hiding behind reason. We have to work together, the Caribbean, the African American, the Brazilians, the black Japanese, anything with some melanin in your skin color. We have to all fight for the same battle. We can't pick and choose our battles. We have to fight and work together, and that is important. So, 45, Amara Owiname from Detroit, Michigan, is asking us as black people first to respect ourselves before we even have you respect us. We got to respect one another. We have to look at each other and see nothing but greatness, because we are of a great people. We are of a great people. We are proud Africans. Can I get the energy, proud Africans? Thank you.
Like I say, I'm Greg Lassiter, 30 Frames a Second with the creator
honor and
himself.
Good.
Nat Wood, it's been a while, man.
Yes, it has, brother.
But,
I had jury duty.
Did you get out of jury duty?
No, I served jury duty, but they let me go because I believe the person
Took a plea?
Took a plea.
Good. Now, let's talk about something that I'm really disturbed by it. I read this week. The woman, there's a principal in the Bronx, the Boogie Down Bronx, guys.
Yeah,
The Boogie Down is the Bronx in New
yeah.
York, who told a teacher not to give a lesson on Black history.
Yeah. A lot of strange, well, no, not strange things. The Trump administration has not created white supremacy. Actually, it's piggybacked off of it. But it's certainly given it its freedom.
Right. People become more bold.
Right. It set it free.
Right.
White supremacy was feeling the shackles of bondage, and Trump came to set it free. The young woman that was being shown in the opening is Amara Owuneme. She ran for city clerk in Detroit, Michigan. She's an African.
Did she win?
No. An incumbent has been there for 6,000 years.
Right.
That was at a demonstration, a rally about Trump referring to Africa and Haiti as shithole countries.
Right.
And that was a response to that. As I said, white supremacy has really become emboldened.
Right.
It is not coincidental that 53% of white women voted for Donald Trump.
What does that say? What does that say, though, to you? What does that say? What does that say to the women of America? Well, especially the women of color, black and brown women.
That was not the only message they gave to women of color. This debacle with the teacher is a message to women of color. There was also another teacher who is also a white teacher, Patricia Cummings, who walked on the backs of, reportedly, walked on the backs of black students in order to demonstrate what it felt like to be a slave.
Well, that doesn't make sense to me. It makes no sense. It makes any sense to me.
None of it makes any sense.
See, but here's the problem I have with, there's a problem I have with a lot of things here. The woman, first of all, she said she didn't want the teacher to teach black history because it was social studies. Black history was about the Harlem Renaissance.
That's what they were talking about. They were talking about Lena Horne. They were talking about the Harlem Renaissance.
But that's not history. That's not only history.
And that's not really social studies.
It's not social studies at all.
That is history.
It is history. And it's art.
And it's art.
Literary.
And it's literature. And it's ergo the name Harlem Renaissance.
Right.
And it's actually the Schomburg, and she was talking about social studies for like blacks and Latinos, which was also weird because first of all, it showed how ignorant this principal was. And you can pull up her name. It's
Katina. Yeah, it's Patricia Katina.
No, Katina something.
Katina
something. Patricia Cummings was the walk on your back teacher.
Right.
But it shows how ignorant she is.
Her name was Patricia Katina.
Oh, okay.
In the Bronx,
Are they both Pats?
Yeah.
Patties. But it also shows why Johnny can't read, Abdullah can't read. Because these are the teachers that are teaching them. And these teachers actually know absolutely nothing about literature, about art, about culture,
about black history.
Well, not just black history. When you talk about the Harlem Renaissance, you are talking far more than black history.
Of course, right. We're talking Duke Ellington.
Correct. Langston Hughes,
James Baldwin,
Richard Wright, Romare Bearden. We're also talking about intellectuals like W.E.B. Du Bois.
Yeah, that's right.
We're talking about what's his name who coined the phrase? Alan Locke. Who was the first African-American or Negro Rhodes Scholar in the history of America. We're talking about painters like Romare Bearden. You know,
amazing.
So to say that it's not about literature when you're talking about Langston Hughes, Richard Wright,
Baldwin.
Claude McKay, James Baldwin is ridiculous. Now, if you are teaching English as a subject of just like where you should stick your comma,
right.
You know, then fine. I don't even know if I need a teacher for that. I can Google where autocorrect will tell you where to stick your comma.
But see, this is white supremacy at its best. When you got a white teacher who has a 95% Black and Latino enrollment in a community that is all Black and Latino.
And she's stupid.
Right, and she's stupid.
And she's stupid. So I got a principal. I don't know what
the requirements to be a principal. Tenure?
Well, you shouldn't get the job if you're stupid.
Right.
But you know, I mean, there has to be somewhere. There should be somewhere something on the form that allows you to pass over the stupid when you're talking about being principals in a school. I mean, like I said, the Schomburg Center for African Studies is named after Arturo Schomburg, who is both Black and Latin. Arturo Schomburg, a Black Puerto Rican. It is run by the New York Public Library. So the library, remember the movie about Miracle on 34th Street, where at the end of the thing they brought in all the letters that had been mailed to Santa and they delivered this guy, and they say he must be Santa because the post office says he's Santa, so he got to be Santa, and they dismissed the case. Well, it has to be literature because the public library said it's literature.
So it has to be that, right?
Your own institution that deals with nothing but books.
But not. It's a little bit deeper than that, I think, because
it is deeper.
You look at this woman who's a principal of the whole school, who is denying Black, Brown, and Latino children to learn about their culture, their history. What does that say? That you mean that's to stop? Because look, think about this. If our kids get to know who we are, you have to know where you are, who you are, to know where you're going. But if they don't know, that's why now you look at our school system. Our children are lost. Our children are lost. The millennials are lost. But we don't know our history. Like when we came up, we had to learn our history, but we didn't learn it all in school. My parents taught us our history.
Yes. But I'm even taking it a step farther than that. It is incumbent upon Black children to learn about their history. But again, I reiterate, I'm talking about something greater than Black history.
You're talking about art, the arts and literature.
And I'm talking about the genius of art. I'm talking about the genius of literacy. I'm talking literature. I am talking about how can you? I'm not British, but I was taught about Shakespeare. I'm not Italian, but I was taught about Michelangelo. They are brilliant artists. If you aspire to be a writer, if you aspire to be a great musician, how can you be? I don't care what you are.
You got to learn.
How can you go wrong by learning from Duke Ellington and
all
Count
the greats?
Basie?
Of all the greats,
as a matter of fact, all throughout Europe, all throughout the greatest music institutions in the world, they teach the music of Duke Ellington and Count Basie.
Yep, that's right.
I mean, that's what they aspire to.
Right.
Hell,
that is greatness.
Wynton Marsalis runs the damn
the Lincoln Jazz Center.
Right. I mean, damn.
But you know what? That's what's wrong today. When I don't care what field you in, you have to study from the great that came before you.
You have to study from the greats.
Yes, before they came.
You have to study from the greats. What can I learn by only studying poot butts? And if I'm not learning from Langston Hughes, who wrote things like "Nobody Loves the Genius Child." What the hell am I going to learn from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow talking about under the spreading chestnut tree, the village Smitty stands?
You're a funny boy. It's true though. It's true.
You want to know why your child can't read? It's because the principal is an idiot.
Right. And that's the sad part, because I look at the schools in Manhattan. Just talk about New York. Lower Manhattan, you have, what's that school? Lower Manhattan that everybody's trying to get into. Stuyvesant.
Oh, Stuyvesant. Right.
Stuyvesant, which is a public high school.
Correct.
From Stuyvesant up to 96th Street.
Right.
You wouldn't think we have, all the schools are public schools, you wouldn't think that they're public schools.
Right.
You get above 96th Street, you get Harlem, the Bronx. It just falls off.
That is correct. That is correct.
Why?
Because they tried, and I've heard this argument again and again and again, and it's pure BS. They try to make it seem as though the answer to great schools is totally through integration. And I'm an autodidact.
Right.
I mean, I don't actually need a whole bunch of white folks around. I just need the good stuff to learn from.
Right, that's exactly right.
And they have all the good stuff.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying I can't learn with white folks around.
Right. But
I'm not saying
you don't need, it's not a requirement.
Right.
It's not a requirement.
Whoever y'all send to the school is fine with me.
Right.
I don't care if it's white people, Asian people, as long as I have the good stuff.
Right.
If I have the computers, if I have the musical instruments, if I have the camera equipment, if I have access to the data that is required so that I learn how to read and write and am technically proficient and artistically and culturally grounded, I'm fine. I'm fine. That has nothing to do with integration. You could put me in a class room full of white folks in a damn barn, with nothing but a dog and some hay, and I probably will not become a great computer programmer.
No, to say the least. But it just, I think one for me, Black History should be not just once a month. History should be an ongoing thing.
History should be an ongoing thing.
The Harlem Renaissance was amazing.
Correct.
You know, I feel that there's more people of other colors, of white people, that knows about the Harlem Renaissance than we do. Some of us don't know about the Harlem Renaissance.
And I've heard this argument before. There was a whole thing about Bruno Mars, and there are going to be people who disagree with me, but fine. That's what the conversation is built on. People who have different points of view, and they try to come to some sort of resolution. There's this whole thing about cultural appropriation, and that people like Bruno Mars and Justin Timberlake appropriated culture. Well, if you want to get around the fact that Bruno Mars is half Puerto Rican, you know,
he's still not great talent, though. I don't consider that music, though.
That is closer to what I'm going to get at.
Okay.
First of all, art in and of itself is by definition cultural appropriation.
Absolutely.
And the only way that you can protect your culture is by doing what the late, great Barbara Ann Teer said. Make your culture count.
Right.
The reason why Justin Timberlake has greater validity now than he had 10, 15 years ago is because there is no Marvin Gaye around.
Right, absolutely.
And there's no Michael Jackson
right,
around.
Right, that's exactly right. Because he wouldn't stand a chance.
Correct. Correct.
You know, he wouldn't stand a chance. A lot of these musicians the Justin Biebers and the Timberlakes are these white guys who are trying to emulate black music.
And one of the greatest bodies of music, art forms that has ever been produced, not just in America, but in the entire world, that dominated the entire world, was a fusion between African-American jazz artists like Dizzy Gillespie and Cuban percussionists like Chano Pozo,
Tito Puente,
that created the phenomenon of Afro-Cuban jazz.
Yes, right. That's right.
And coincidentally, when we talk about Arturo Schomburg, Chano Pozo and Tito and Dizzy Gillespie were part and parcel to that era that we refer to as the Harlem Renaissance.
That's exactly right.
Chano Pozo loved Harlem.
Yep,
he was more Harlem than anybody you could think of.
That's right.
You know, he got blasted gangster style, reefer selling gangster in Harlem. He was more Harlem than Cuba.
That's right. That's right.
And he was born in Cuba.
Yep. But you know what? That's what's happening to our culture.
Right.
Look at Harlem now. They're trying to change the name of Harlem.
That is correct. That is correct.
And Harlem is an institution in New York.
We've abrogated our cultural roots. We've abrogated our cultural validity. And our cultural validity, like I was saying before, was all-encompassing.
Right.
I'm not just talking about the fact that we could play some damn music.
Right.
I'm talking about...
we can read.
We could read.
Poetry.
We could write.
Right.
We could count.
Right.
You know, I mean, the great gangster Bubby Johnson was all numbers.
Yeah, and Bubby Johnson was the man.
Right.
You know?
The numbers
never
money
wrote a number down.
No, numbers money fueled the Harlem Renaissance.
Right, that's right.
The whole Harlem Renaissance.
Right.
And when we talk about the Harlem Renaissance, like I said, we're talking about great academicians, great intellectuals. We're talking about W.E.B. Du Bois.
Yep.
We're talking about Alan
Thurgood
Locke.
Marshall.
Thurgood
Marshall.
Correct. You're talking about artists. You're talking about Romare Bearden, about Ed Clark. You're talking about some of the greatest artists who not just painted pictures. People like Jacob Lawrence. Redefined style of art. The things that he used to paint redefined art for all time. All time.
But to deny a culture,
Michelangelo didn't do that.
No.
Michelangelo was just meticulous in the way he presented sculpture, but he did not redefine the way art was presented. Picasso did more of that, but Picasso was a strange bird compared to Jacob Lawrence.
But you know what? He was a true artist though, because he was crazy.
But it was cultural appropriation. If you dissect Picasso, if you dissect his work, it's African art splattered here, there, and you know.
That's exactly
he dissected African art and put it all over different places and whatnot. It is cultural appropriation.
Right. You're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right. But you know what? But to deny a culture, a group of people, their history and their culture in the 21st century. Why aren't parents screaming? I know the kids went to school the next day and wore all black. But if my kid came home and said, you know, this happened, I would be at the school. I would insist on this lady's firing.
Yes.
How come none of that is happening?
Yes. And I would insist upon my culture being taught. And I would insist upon my children getting the best education possible, learning from the best people. I spent hours and hours at the keyboard.
Yep. Me too. And the violin.
And I do it all.
Right.
And I look at cats like Dizzy, and I'm like, and even cats like Thelonious Monk, and I listen to things like Epistrophe,
Miles Davis,
Bamsha Swing, Miles Davis, who was sweet as sugar.
Yeah,
when you listen to Miles Davis, when he was with Train and they were playing So What, and On Green Dolphin Street, that stuff is sweet as sugar. And I'm sitting there, and I'm a musician, and I can play around with some notes, and I'm thinking to myself, how did he come up with this stuff? You know,
it blows me away.
I can understand how other people could learn how to do it, but how do you come up with it in the first place?
They originated it.
Correct.
Yeah, that's genius. It's genius.
It's genius.
It's genius.
It's genius.
Something you can't be taught.
But in order, if you are really an artist, as opposed to some schmuck of a guy who thinks that all he got to do is scribble bitch on a paper napkin, and money is going to rain down.
You're a moron.
First of all, you don't understand money. You don't even understand what you're looking at.
You don't understand art. You don't understand what you're
not an artist. You're not an artist. You're a con man. You don't understand money because the people you are looking at didn't become billionaires or damn near billionaires simply because they wrote bitch on a paper napkin. They understood the capitalist system. They utilized the capitalist system and they used business acumen to accrue hundreds of millions of dollars. They made deals, they sold stocks, they branded themselves, they did a whole lot of things completely unrelated to
what they were doing.
Jigga-man.
Exactly. Exactly. But Nat, I understand but parents today have failed. I want to know why.
Whom the gods would destroy, they first make mad. We allowed ourselves to believe ourselves to be assimilated into the culture so much that we stopped doing the things that made us strive for excellence.
But do you think we did that on our own, or did the system tried to misdirect us?
Well, that's the system's job.
But we know that's the system's job. Why do we let it? Why do we buy into it? Is it for acceptance?
Yeah.
Who cares about being accepted?
Apparently, a whole generation really wanted, like Malcolm said, all you really want is the love of your white daddy, because the system has done. And I've heard this over and over again from that generation that came after the 70s. You know, I ain't had no daddy and yada 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 yada. But all through our stay here, you know, you know, and if immigrants are the dreamers, we are the nightmarers. Because we didn't come here on a dream, we came here on a nightmare.
We didn't come here on our own. The dreamers came here on their own.
It wasn't a dream.
No,
it was a nightmare.
It was a true nightmare.
We weren't looking for the American dream.
No,
we were trying to brace ourselves for the American nightmare.
We're the ones who built America so that America can have the American dream.
They talk about the Black Panther, the movie.
Did you see it?
No.
I didn't either.
No. But I grew up on the damn comic book.
So it's nothing you don't know.
Yeah, right. Y'all just getting hip to the Black Panther. I got episode 1.
You dating yourself there, boy.
Hey, listen, you know, they know the gray is real. It's not all aggravation. But they talk about the Black Panther and Wakanda. Well, one of the things, you can't have Wakanda without Wakandans.
Right. That's exactly right. That is exactly.
You got to have people who are overachievers, people who want to build the world. And although Wakanda is fictional, the story of Wakanda is not.
No, exactly. People don't get that.
Right.
People don't understand that.
Right. The story of Wakanda is Black Wall Street.
Right. That's exactly right.
It's the Harlem Renaissance.
Right.
It's wherever we were in no matter what time.
Right.
It didn't start in 1917.
No.
It started in like 1617 when they first brought us over here.
Right.
Because if you understand slavery, when slavery came to America, it came to America through like little southern countries.
That's right.
Southern states, or colonies, or whatever they were referred to, because they were British colonies at the time. Dutch colonies, some sort of white people colonies. But places like Georgia, they didn't know what to do with the damn slaves because they didn't know what to do with the land itself.
Right. That's exactly
right. And in order to feed themselves, they had to learn how to feed them. They had to learn how to grow rice and okra and all of the stuff that enabled them to prosper in places like Carolina and Georgia,
Mississippi, Alabama.
They had to learn from the Gullah people how to grow food to survive, so they would even have a reason to keep a slave.
Isn't that insane? This has been insane.
Yes.
This has been insane.
It is insane. It is insane. But it proves beyond a shadow of a doubt, because we talk about the genius of Egypt. Right. But we never really expound upon how we've maintained that genius through all sorts of circumstances. You know, we never got unsmart.
But okay, we always had it.
We still have it. But we're just the only ones who don't know it.
But how is it that we go from we know we're smart to we're dumb? Does that make any sense?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Because what my job and your job is to pass on a legacy.
Bingo.
So somewhere along the line, there was a failure to communicate.
Correct.
Now, why is there a failure to communicate when you know you're trying to leave a legacy?
Correct.
I want to know why. What happened? There's somewhere a disconnect.
We blame the obstacles of the system. And the obstacle and pointing to the obstacles of the system is indeed valid. The system is designed to put obstacles in your way. Because Clem is a retard.
But hold on a second. The system wasn't designed for us.
Never. And that's the part we're missing.
You know, we can't beat the system because it wasn't designed for us.
That is correct. So if I'm teaching my children and grandchildren about art and culture and technology, and the point is to not just maintain the legacy, but also empower them in the future so that they can get out there and fly damn planes like Greg freaking Lassiter.
But see, we always learn. My dad always said this, Nat. Son, if you can't be great, be next to somebody that's great. Well, I don't care about being next to somebody. I want to be great.
But my name ain't Mr. French. I ain't drawing this bastard's bath.
Or fixing him tea. But now, I don't see okay, it's not, because in our culture, we had kids young. So it's not an age thing.
No.
So I'm missing something.
No. My greatest strength is the fact that I am indeed tied to the past. So I have to compete with those people who were great artists and intellectuals.
But they didn't let you. No. Failure was not an option. Failure was not an option. You had to learn.
And if they were alive today, I'd be way down the pecking order. The reason why I'm so high up on the pecking order is because I'm surrounded by poopers.
That's true, though. But see, where has we as a culture lost its desire to learn? Because that's what I feel. That's what happened.
And the more important question is, can it be reclaimed?
But see, that's the thing,
because it has to be reclaimed, especially in the 21st century.
Nat, it has to be. How do we go? See, we do this. People, listen. We do this not just on Tuesdays.
Right.
We do this every day, all day.
Right.
You guys just don't see us.
Right.
Most of you guys communicate with us on social media, but you don't see us out in the streets, out in the community doing things.
Right.
But we do. But we need help.
Right.
We need some help.
Right.
You need to empower your children.
Right.
You need to stop talking to your children like they're dogs.
Right.
You need to stop cursing at your children.
Right.
You need to treat your children with some dignity.
Right.
And some respect.
Right.
Because if you don't, you can't get respect unless you have self-respect.
And an expectation of greatness. We have to like expect them to overachieve.
Right. That's what we did.
Right. We expect them to underachieve.
Right.
We expect them to not do well, and then we make excuses for the fact that they're not
and blame it on somebody
well.
else.
We blame it on everybody else. And a lot of the things that we are talking about are valid. But when you get into a damn poker game, everybody at that table has one objective.
Right.
That's
it's to win the
money.
That's exactly right. That's exactly.
And whatever they got to do, bluff, lie.
I'm going to get it. They're going to get it. They're going to get it.
Take advantage of the fact that you're a scary chump and you're doing this every time you get a hand.
I'm going to take your money. I'm going to capitalize on it. Right.
I'm going to capitalize on your weakness.
Right.
The problem is not so much that the system is designed to capitalize on your weakness. The problem is that you have become comfortable in that weakness.
Complacent, yeah.
So much so that you make excuses for the fact that
how can you live with yourself like that, though?
Not only that, but you're playing with my money. Beat his ass, bring some money home. I've given up everything so that you can have a head start in life.
Right.
I don't give a damn what that son of a bitch is doing. Beat his ass.
And bring home the money.
Right.
Because that's what he's trying to do to you.
Right. What is you adopted? Did your mama cheat on me? Whose kid is you?
That's true, though. But it saddens me, Nat. It saddens me to see, the 20-somethings.
It saddens me, too. It saddens me, too.
Like, guys our age.
It saddens me, too.
I don't understand guys our age are trying to be, like, 20-something. Walk around with your pants around your butt. I don't get that. But we have to come.
Good Lord, if I was 20-something and knew what I know now,
who?
Oh my God.
We're trying to start our own network now.
God. Trump would be shining my shoes by now. Don't look good. Don't Mr. Word.
But think about it. Think about this, though. He was a member of this Lucky Sperm Club.
Well, yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't.
Or the Unlucky Egg Club.
But see, here's the thing, though. We, the 20-somethings, see, you look around, and I weep for the future. These people are supposed to be our future.
But we have to do that. We have to do that. And there are institutions. Who provide the data, and they're right in the middle of your home.
Right.
And you have to take advantage of it. You have to take advantage of it. There are cultural institutions. There are places like Harlem School of the Arts.
Right.
There are places. I mean, there is the LaRock Bay Dancers. There are things great and small that you can learn from.
Right, right.
When I wanted to find out somebody's name, I pulled up my telephone.
You know what's crazy, Nat? I think a well-kept secret. I grew up in D.C., Washington, D.C. The greatest place for me in Washington, D.C. was the Library of Congress.
Yeah.
The Library of Congress, one, it's free to go into. All you have to need is a government ID.
Yeah.
Every book that's ever written in the world is in the Library of Congress.
Right.
Anything you want to learn how to do something is in the Library of Congress.
Right.
You can't check out the books, but you can go there and do your homework and do the research, and you'll be surprised at how many people grew up in D.C., African Americans, that's never been to the Library of Congress.
Correct. Correct.
So what does that say about our culture?
It says we got a lot of work to do. It says we have a lot of work to do.
But we have to start. It doesn't seem like we're starting. I think we're becoming more dumb. Is that a word? More dumb? Does that make sense? Dumb down?
Dumbass. Dumbass on you. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes. And it's not even so much that we are ignorant. We are belligerently stupid.
Right. That's a great word. That's a great word. Belligerently stupid.
Right.
That is a fantastic. The word of the day is belligerently stupid.
Right.
Because it seems like we just get a case of CRS.
Right.
Can't remember shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know. Is it come from the lack of being lazy? Because we're not a lazy people.
Well, no, we're not. No, we're not.
And it saddens me.
I kind of think that a lot of this stuff has to wash itself out. That we hit a wall. We hit a wall, and we hit a malaise. But I am both inspired,
right,
and disappointed in generations that are coming up now.
Right.
I am inspired by the fact that a lot of them are looking to do things in mathematics and engineering and arts and culture that they are smarter than ever.
Right.
I'm a little disheartened that a lot of them know so little about their culture.
That's crazy. That was a requirement in our household. That was a requirement in my household with my children.
Right.
I'm teaching you about our culture.
Right.
I'm teaching you about history.
Right.
Or not just, see, our history is much much bigger than Malcolm X.
Right. Right.
Than Martin Luther King.
Oh my God! And Malcolm would have told you that.
Yeah,
Malcolm was the first one to tell you that.
Yeah,
you know.
But that's the only thing. It's even sad that some people don't even know who Malcolm X was or Martin Luther King.
Right. Right. A lot of young black people don't know who the hell Frederick Douglass is. I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah, I didn't know that was possible either. I actually, funny. I stopped a group of kids and I'm like, guys, you know, a group of black kids. Do you know who Frederick Douglass is?
Yeah.
And they said no.
Yeah, I didn't know that was possible. I
Like
I want to know what y'all doing in that damn classroom all day long.
But people also think that, see, the history. The first black president was not Barack Obama.
Right.
It was Hanson.
Right.
Because he was the first black president because of the Continental Congress before it became the United States.
Right.
But how many kids know that?
Right.
That's crazy.
But I'm trying to figure out what the hell are y'all doing in school. I need to sneak some cameras in the school. The hell with cameras in the court. I want to know what the hell y'all talking about. I want to know. Because you can't read, you can't write, you don't know history, you don't know math.
So what do you do?
But you make a lot of babies. I want to know what the hell are y'all doing in the classroom.
You go there for 7 hours. What are you learning?
Right, 5 days a week.
Right.
What is it that you're doing?
180 school days.
Because my mama could get my undivided attention in a look.
In a look, straight up. That look, boy, you know that look, right?
Right. So I'm trying to figure out what is going on in there that you come out of it with nothing. How is
negative.
that possible?
I don't know.
How is
because
that possible?
Now.
And the principal is mad because the teacher taught him something.
Yeah.
But see, forget what it was. Anything.
But let me ask you something. Where does it? Okay, you go to sit in class. Teachers aren't teaching, and you're not comprehending. Isn't it time for the parents to step in? I would think. Would you think that?
Yes. Yes. But you have a phenomenon where the parents are more children than the children, so the parents are not really stepping up.
But not as a parent.
The parents are not grounded.
But as a parent,
though. Not grounded.
But as a parent, wouldn't you want your children to do better than you? That's what we were taught. My dad and my mom, we want to show you something greater.
Yeah, but you have to know what that is. You have to even know what that. You have to have some idea of what that would look like.
But you got but as the parents today. Common sense is not so common, I guess.
No, it's not.
Because I would sit there and think that if you got 3 kids and you're 26, first of all, that's a problem. Not married. But you would want something greater than what you are giving them. You would want your children to inspire or aspire to be something great.
I mean, we didn't just abrogate our rights to claim things like music and art and intellectualism. We lost double Dutch. We lost midwest.
I gotta go. I gotta go. I'm so over it. Yeah. You got me on that one.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh my God. Midwest.
Yeah.
That was an institution in the black.
Yes, and it made your mind sharp, and you had to.
Midwest.
Yeah.
Spades.
Right. Pinochle. You know, I mean, all of these things we lost double Dutch. I mean, the coordination.
The coordination, the eye and hand,
everything.
There's a hand, eye, and feet coordination.
Right. Now you have a.
I don't even see kids playing double Dutch.
No, you got 10-year-old kids that's like 3 feet tall and weigh 450 pounds. They can't even lift a leg, much less get it over 2 ropes.
I can't.
Now the age is just jumping and they're just like getting medals.
But you have to think about this, you're right. Because growing up, even we know how to do double Dutch. Everybody in the neighborhood had to do double Dutch because you had 2. Think about how ingenious that is, and you had people doing the double Dutch,
and then jumping, moving all around, in and out, moving out, let somebody else in, and you looking at this and like, what are these chicks on?
Wow, man, you got me on that one. We lost double Dutch.
Yeah, gone. You want to talk about exercise? Now people with money, they in the gym and they lifting stuff. Ain't nobody had to lift.
No, we never went to the gym. Did they even have gyms?
Right. It's like, look at the legs on that girl. My God. I'm gonna marry you. When I go,
seriously,
I'm gonna make some money. I'm gonna marry you.
But you know what? And you know, you just hit home. We lost double Dutch.
Yes. We've lost our
identity. We've lost identity.
Right.
Because we capitalized. We are the one who made this.
If you want to hear black music, turn on the country music channel.
Yep, there you go.
Turn on the country music channel.
You go.
That's black music.
There you go.
Black music.
Well said.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But you said we lost double Dutch.
We lost double Dutch. We lost midwest.
You know what's the scary part of it is? If you ask the kids today, we're going to play double Dutch, would they even know?
No.
Because now that I think of it, you go in the neighborhood, I don't see anybody.
You want to hear some cats that can play Coltrane? Go to Japan.
Yeah. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
I saw a Japanese guy sing Luther Vandross better than Luther.
Yeah. That
is crazy.
We've given up every every part of our identity, and
we sold out. Did we sell out?
Well, we've
sold out for nothing.
We've emboldened white supremacists. We've emboldened white supremacists to the degree that they are comfortable.
You know,
principals are comfortable with walking on the backs of our children.
But nobody is saying. But what about us? Not the parents. Not us. But what about the parents? I would be incensed if I came to my children. Oh no. You couldn't.
All avenues of our move forward has been co-opted by the white women's movement, basically.
Right. That's exactly right.
The gay movement, all our strategies, all our tactics, and they are being as effective as Martin and the 60s in Black Wall Street. They are very effective. So effective that they don't even mention you in a conversation anymore. They had the little Oscar so white thing, and they said, "Oh, we do better." And then and then this year it's like back to business. Back to business as usual. We don't need black folks. We are black women are just women, so we can do white
anything
women.
we want.
And if we want to do some cultural thing, we'll bring in Lin Miranda.
Wow.
And you're not even a part of the dialogue anymore.
No.
You're not even part of the dialogue.
It used to be, it was mandatory that we were part of the dialogue.
But we didn't need to be part of the dialogue.
We were already there.
They begged us to be part of the dialogue. They needed us to be part of the dialogue.
You know what?
Because we had all the music.
Right, we had everything.
Right.
Not just the music, Nat. We
had everything.
We had everything.
We had everything.
We had so much that they burnt down Black Wall Street.
Frankie Crocker, who came to prominence in black radio.
Right. He just died a couple years ago.
Yeah. When he went to BLS, they made the deal. They changed the name of black music and soul music, and they started referring it to as urban contemporary.
Contemporary. Yep. That happened in the 90s, right? In the 80s.
The purpose of this was not to empower black artists.
No, right.
The purpose of this was more to validate artists like Hall & Oates.
Right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So all of a sudden, Hall & Oates was
they took off. They thought they were
Blue-Eyed Soul, the White Temptations.
That's exactly right.
The Righteous Brothers.
Right. You see, guys, people don't understand that, Nat.
Right.
The people don't understand. Just look at the big picture.
Right.
Like, I'm going to just say this because we only have a few minutes.
Right.
Harlem, 125th Street.
Right.
The big picture was, what's his name? Charlie Rango said he was going to bring all those stores to Harlem, all those national stores. Harlem thought, gee, that's what we need. But nobody in Harlem got a job there.
Correct.
But Harlem had everything they needed, so they wouldn't have to go below 125th Street.
Correct.
Don't you see that?
Oh, Harlem was so self-contained. But the only thing that Harlem was lacking was focused leadership on the political side.
There you go. Not to cut you off, but it wasn't the last person that was for Harlem. Adam Clayton Powell.
That is correct.
Everything after him.
That is correct.
It was self-gratification.
That is correct. And if we had focused leadership on the political side, Harlem would have been Atlantis. Harlem would have been Wakanda. Because everything was in place. The only thing that it needed was that visionary leadership on the political side who actually could see it and make it happen.
Who had the people of Harlem in their best interest.
Correct. And who wasn't afraid to play the game of Thrones.
Well, guys, you know what? We're running out of time. I want to thank everybody for watching 30 Frames a Second. We come to you live, raw, and uncut. It's not even our opinion. It's how it is. Yeah. Guys, you know what? We have to do better. We have to do better. If we can't do better, like Nat said, we're not even part of the conversation. Not even a part of the conversation, all right? We have to be part of the conversation. We have to be, we have come to the, we got to the party. Right. We were at the party. Right. I don't know what happened.
We were the whole damn show.
Yeah.
Yeah, the party. We were the whole damn show. You look at the Rolling Stones. I mean, that's James Brown. That's Jackie Wilson. Yep. That's Hall & Oates. Yep. Like I said, the purpose of Urban Contemporary was to validate white artists who were singing black music.
There you go. Look at Elvis Presley.
That is correct.
Look at Elvis Presley.
That is correct.
Bo Diddley, because he stole Bo Diddley stuff.
That is correct. That is correct. And I reiterate, if you want to hear black music, turn this the country music channel.
Wow. Wow.
You know, it's all over there. It's all, and they get churchy on it too. You know, they don't just get black; they get churchy, and have like black choirs
right behind them. Right.
You know,
look, you go to the Country Music Awards. If you look at it, you got a black choir behind them.
That's,
but guys,
that's where the black music is.
Here's the thing. Remember this. I'm gonna let Nat say the last words, but always remember: shoot for the moon. If you miss, you're still among the stars. I'm one of the hosts of 30 Frames a Second. I'm glad to be here. Nat, you can have, it's your show, you can have the last word. All right. Like you take, I'm not giving you the permission.
Shoot for the moon and you better not miss because it's a big ass target. In point of fact, we have a lot of work to do, but the good thing is we have no place to go but up. And it gives you something to do.
Right.
We are not part of the conversation, but that's not the problem. The problem is we are not having the conversation amongst ourselves.
Right.
Once we start doing that, once we get back to business, it's new rules.
Right. That's right.
Scared money don't make money.
That's
we gotta get them once again chasing us.
Right.
And the only way we can do this is to resume our course. Right. As the overachievers that go against insurmountable odds.
Because the only way they're chasing us is right to jail.
Yes.
Think about it.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
They can make money.
And we got a whole lot of stuff in the can that we're going to present about the prison industrial system, the Angola system.
Which is the worst.
Art, culture, the whole 9 yards. So 30 Frames is going to be coming at you. Live and direct from all angles.
That's right.
Because it's we got to get busy.
And you know what, guys? Just to let you know, next month we'll be in Brooklyn on Brick TV.
Hey, Brooklyn knows. Brooklyn knows.
I smell an Emmy. I smell an Emmy. I can't even. I got a cold. I smell an Emmy. That's what I smell.
He just like to make trouble. Peace. We're out of here,
guys.
We'll see you next week.
Take care. Good show, buddy.
Oh, my brother. You got it.
Thank you.
You got it.
I just want to say a couple words in Spanish. El plan del presidente Trump es un desastre para los trabajadores neoyorquinos. Con este plan, más de 700